Welcome to episode 2. I knew you'd be back. That one backfired. This is where I answer your questions about anything. The last episode was so fun, I decided I'd try it again. It's also easier to make these videos than it is to make a video of a review of a radio, and I'm lazy. You can ask me anything. The meaning of life, where do you get the best cheeseburger, who cuts my hair, anything. You can submit your question at my website, notarubicon.com/ask-randy. I'll put a link to it up there and down there. Before we get started, let's talk about my question to you that I asked in the first episode of Ask Randy Anything. My question to you then was, should YouTube require an IQ test before allowing people to submit comments on YouTube videos? A lot of people said yes, YouTube should require a minimum IQ level of at least 81 before allowing people to comment on videos, because apparently they're tired of the avalanche of stupid that you see on just about every YouTube video in the comment section. But many other people said, no, YouTube should not require an IQ test because half of the fun of watching YouTube videos is reading the comments to see how stupid people actually are. I too enjoy reading stupid comments from stupid people and seeing how stupid they actually are. Stupid. But the problem with that is that when a stupid person leaves a comment as though it's fact, another stupid person comes along and reads that comment, and because they lack any critical thinking skills at all, they just assume that what the first stupid person posted as fact is true, leading to a vicious cycle of stupidity. A lot of people also commented that even if YouTube did institute an IQ test, YouTube itself would not be smart enough to come up with a good, effective IQ test. I have to disagree. I think that the YouTube people are very smart, articulate, and do their job very well. And most of all, they are a very diverse group of employees, which we all know is the most important thing in getting the job done. Besides, YouTube already has a test. Google owns YouTube. They already have an IQ test. They just choose not to use it. You know those CAPTCHA things that you have to click and choose the buses before you can sign up at some website? That alone would keep 80% of people out. I hate those things. What if the bus is in 2 squares? Does it know if do you click both squares? Let's get to the questions. I know your time is very valuable, and you know how I hate to waste your time because you are my favorite viewer. So I've got the questions here printed out. I will be reading from the questions, and I'll put them up on the screen somehow so you can read along as I read them to you. The first one is more of a comment than a question, but it has been brought up multiple times, so let's just address it. It comes from VTX Hobbies. LOL. He disabled the like to dislike ratio. I wonder why that is. Paul Mitchell also says, never trust a YouTube chamnel, CHAMNEL, too scared to show feedback count. So you may have noticed that on my channel, you don't see the like and dislike count, how many people hit the like button and how many people hit the dislike button. And the reason is because I believe any viewer should be able to decide if they like the video or not all by themselves. If someone is too stupid, like VTX Hobbies and Paul Mitchell appear to be, if they're too stupid to figure out if they like a video or not without getting help from others, if they have to see what other people think to decide if they like it or not, I don't want that person watching my videos. Either you like a video or you don't. You watch it or you don't. Click the like or dislike, I don't care. But the viewer should be able to decide all by themselves if they like a video or not. But as long as they've brought it up, let's go over some statistics from my last few videos. Let's see how terrible my videos do, how many people like my videos and don't like my videos. Overall, the average thumbs up to thumbs down ratio of my videos is 98% up, 2% down. So for example, if we look at my last video, a couple of weeks ago, it was an update on the MXT115 Motorola. It had 97.9% thumbs up. That translates to 607 thumbs up, 13 thumbs down. The video before that, KG805M. Not a lot of views on that one because it's a MERS radio. MERS is not very popular. It had a 97.7% thumbs up ratio. That means 386 thumbs up, a whopping 9 thumbs down. 386 up, 9 down. The worst performing as far as thumbs up versus thumbs down was a video I did about a UV5R power amp that received a terrible 92% thumbs up. That means 1,660 people said they liked it. 143 people said they didn't like it. I am very happy with my thumbs up to thumbs down ratio. So Mr. VTX Hobbies and Mr. Paul Mitchell, the real reason that I disable it is so that morons like you are forced to decide if you like something on your own or not. Okay, rolling right along. David says, recently received my Wuxin KG905G and noticed the owner's manual had buytwowayradios.com as the author. What is the relationship between Wuxin and buytwowayradios.com? I actually had this question myself early on in my YouTubing and GMRS radio career. Buytwowayradios.com, along with one other vendor that I know of in the United States, bettersaferadio.com, have a special relationship with Wuxin, Ocean, where they have Ocean manufacture radios for them to their specifications. So buytwowayradios.com or bettersaferadio.com will say, hey, we want a radio that does this, this, and this. They submit those specs to Ocean. Ocean builds it, and then buytwowayradios.com or bettersaferadio.com are the exclusive distributors for that radio. There may be other companies that do this. These are the only two that I know of. I don't know what you call this kind of relationship, but it works out well because basically now you have vendors or distributors in the United States that are selling these radios that come from overseas, China. And then you deal with them for support and issues. So it's better for the consumer. Alan Webster asks, Randy, why did you walk around the Salton Sea in the summertime? Are you crazy? Good question. Many of you probably do not know that in the summer of 2015, 6 years ago, I became the first and only person to walk around the shoreline of Salton Sea in California, California's largest lake. Now, some people may say, well, what's the big deal about that? Salton Sea is located in one of the hottest places in the United States. By most measures, it's number 2 or number 3, very close right behind Death Valley. It's normal to see temperatures of up to 115 to 120 degrees. I decided to walk around it. I had nothing better to do. Oh, it's a 103-mile walk. A film was made about my walk around Salton Sea. You can watch that video there. It's about an hour long. But to answer the question, am I crazy? My wife and my doctor, they both say I'm not crazy. They both say I'm stupid. David C. asks, hi, Randy. I'm confused about the GMRS license fee. I was under the impression that it was lowered to $35, but I went out there today and it says fee is $70. Am I doing something wrong? Beavis also asks, you have any idea when the FCC will drop the license fee down to $35 for GMRS? The FCC has already dropped the price. The price is now legally $35. The change has been approved by Congress and all the people that have to sign off on that kind of thing. So now we're just waiting for our public servants in the federal government to actually put the change into place. My guess is that now they're waiting for bids to contractors to go into the website and change the 70 to a 35. So far, that's taken months. I think the final change was approved in April. It's August now. They still haven't changed the website. So the answer is nobody knows. Gilbert Lopez asks, I've been watching your GMRS videos and noticed that you mostly talk about handhelds, HTs, and mobile units for install in your vehicles. I want to install a base type unit in my house and use a GMRS tuned antenna installed at about 35 feet on a mast. I wanted to ask you, what type of coax would you recommend for this project? Thanks, G. Lopez. Well, G. Lopez, thank you very much for your question. As you may know, I recently built a repeater, which is basically 2 base units put together, and I used LMR 400 coax. That's a low loss. You have to use a low loss coax because GMRS is at UHF frequency is very high, and apparently all the signal likes to bleed out of the wire. So you need a good, well-shielded, good quality coax. I chose LMR 400. It's not the best in the world, but it is a good, high quality. It's pretty expensive, but it's not the most expensive. Now the experts. Oh, the experts say it won't work. LMR 400 is junk. Junk. Remember junk. That's the word that the experts use. The LMR 400 that I've been using has been working just fine. It may not work the best, but it works pretty darn good. It may not work forever. It may not last forever. I'll be happy with a few years. I used LMR 400. Can't go too wrong with that. Russ in Denver asks, your channel is great. It is informative and hilarious. Your sense of humor is amazing. Thanks for all you do. Russ in Denver. That's more of a statement than a question, Russ. Keep up. Chad Mefford asks, I recently purchased that works on KG1000G and got my GMRS license. I'm learning everything I can about it and repeaters. Do you know anything about what and how DTMF codes are used on GMRS or how it relates to repeater usage? I could continue to watch boring YouTube videos, but I'd rather enjoy learning it. Thanks. I hear those DTMF codes from time to time on GMRS. I have no idea what they're for or what they're used for. Sorry. Brandy asks, hey, Randy, what is the meaning of life? Brandy, I can sum it up in one word. Taco. Joe asks, does ham have any advantages over CB radio? Yes, Joe. Ham radio has a lot of advantages over CB radio. Thank you for asking. AJ Bidu asks, what makes you such an RF expert if you're not even a ham? I never said I was an RF expert in any video, ever. Not once. There are many RF experts out there that are not hams. But thank you for assuming that I am an RF expert. I'm very flattered. Astroglide69 asks, Astroglide69. You have often said that you do not care what people think about your videos. Why do you not care so much for the very people that make your videos popular? From your favorite viewer, AG69. Mr. Glide, it's not that I don't care, it's that I can't care. When you reach the level of celebrity and social media star that I am, if you care about so let's back up. As we've talked previously, the majority of people leaving comments, and this is what I base whether I like or don't like somebody is based on the comments that they leave. The majority of them are idiots. And if I were to try to please every idiot that leaves a comment or care about what all these morons think, I would go crazy. So I can't care about what everybody says. Now, I care about you, my favorite viewer, but everybody else, I do not give a shit about what they think. So I just make my videos the way I make my videos. Everybody can either choose to watch them or not watch them. Christopher Anderson asks, I've noticed that you do all of your UV5R videos on a Beretta 92 TechMat. Do you transmit on the 9mm wavelength? Christopher's talking about the mat that I use when I do videos showing radios, and not just UV5R, but all radios. It is a TechMat for a Beretta 92. That is a firearm. Now, YouTube doesn't really like YouTubers to talk about firearms or guns because guns are very scary. And many people get sad when you talk about guns and firearms. So I don't really want to talk about it. Smells like gun oil. Nikki G asks, who invented liquid soap and why? Thanks. It's keeping me up at night. Nikki G, that has also kept me up at night for a long time. Johnson & Johnson invented liquid soap in 1979 because bar soap was too difficult for many people to use. Ralph Reyes asks, any plans of bringing your Jeep and radio equipment to the 2021 Jeep Invasion in Seaverville, Tennessee, East Tennessee near Knoxville and the Smoky Mountains, August 26 through 28, 2021. Over 7,000 Jeeps, Jeep show, Jeep drives, vendors, etc. No. Penrable asks, where does babbies come from? I don't know, man. What's a babby? Red asks, how could anyone, FCC or the volunteer FCC police, tell the difference if you are using a ham on GMRS channel 16 or an actual GMRS radio on channel 16? Very good question. The answer is, if you have your Roger beep on which we all know is a very important setting to have on. If you didn't know that, watch that video on Roger beeps. The Roger beep on a UV5R is very unique. When somebody hears that, they know it's a UV5R. If your Roger beep is not on, they can't tell. Now, there is equipment that the FCC owns that could probably, maybe, some people say they can, some people say they can't, fingerprint the RF emissions coming out of the UV5R, and they'd be able to tell if it's a UV5R or another radio. I'm not sure how true that is because I've seen that in comments on YouTube videos, and we all know that that means it's probably just BS. So even if the technology did exist for the FCC to know what kind of a radio you are talking on, unless you're a terrorist and you're plotting to bring down the government or do something horrible, the FCC doesn't care and would never use that on any normal person. Whether or not a normal volunteer FCC police person would be able to tell what kind of radio you're using, regardless of what anybody says in comments on YouTube videos, they can't. They're lying. That's all the questions we have time for today. If you want to submit your question to ask me, go to my website, notarubicon.com/ask-randy. The link is in the information section below. Submit your question. Maybe I'll answer it. My question to you that you can answer in the comments below is, should YouTube channel owners such as myself and your other favorite YouTubers, should they display the like and dislike numbers, totals on their videos so you know how many people liked or disliked their video? Or should viewers be forced to figure out on their own, all by themselves, whether or not they like a video? Leave your comment below and let me know what you think. As always, thank you for watching, and remember,